This is what's left of Pollyanna Reed's epic shoe collection. Mostly sold off, simplicity is her word of the year.
Before, I wanted to rock the most expensive item just because it was expensive. I mean, it could have been the ugliest shoe on the rack.
As a teen, she says she never appreciated money. She says the guy she dated in high school was the head of a counterfeit money ring until the police showed up.
So they showed up at my house, knocked at my door. My father was so surprised, and we sat right here in this room, and I had to pick him out of a lineup. And so that was a wake-up call, but obviously not enough.
She left any relation to crime, but by her mid-20s, she was addicted to credit cards and the fast life.
I kept shopping to numb the feeling, right? If you don't ever learn to understand money, you'll always be a slave to it. And so it was literally just controlling my every move.
Finally, she owed $50,000, and a collection agency really woke her up.
I would have been left with negative nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I would have been left with zero. And so I was crying. So I was like, this is all I have. Like, it was genuine tears, because I think I realized, like, oh my gosh, like everything's now catching up with me.
She cut her credit cards and started investing $50 a month from her modest salary as an executive assistant.
How much money have you invested into the rebrand?
She launched 2 side hustles, one a communications agency, the other an online mentoring group.
Email them and let them know that Jim is probably not going to make the meeting.
She says her online work has earned her $90,000 in 2018 already, and to her, working off her feet is essential.
Okay, bye. Awesome. Siobhan, are you there? We really have to look out for ourselves. And also, too, I never wanted to solely rely on a corporate career, because, I have seen and witnessed so many major layoffs in my time in the corporate world. And so I don't want to be that person who depends on that one and only check to survive.
Helen Van Dongen knows the perils of one job. In 2013, the 58-year-old was laid off from her corporate gig leading a national event management team.
I realized that there weren't a whole lot of similar level positions available to me, so I couldn't just walk out one door and walk in another. But there were opportunities to be able to do some contract work.
Freelancing and running a small business weren't new to her, but the climate for startups is saturated. And 4 years later, she had almost nothing.
So I pillaged my RSPs. I have virtually no retirement savings left. I have one small RSP now that's locked, so I can't get at it, which may well be a good thing. And everything else is gone.
At the worst of it, she was about $140,000 in debt between 2 maxed out credit cards and 2 lines of credit.
I knew I had to do something, because sooner or later I was going to end up living in a cardboard box in front of Union Station, and that's just not what I wanted to do.
She took a bold step and sold her downtown condo, moving to the city's more affordable East End to rent a basement apartment from a friend.
The relief of getting rid of that $140,000 albatross around my neck was enormous. And so I feel the situation I'm in now is transitional. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on the path there.
She never thought she would be a renter with precarious work in her 50s.
Well, I will tell you that not every day is skipping down the street. But I'm not a worrier. I'm at the top of my game professionally, and I think there's plenty of runway left for me.
One of her biggest stumbling blocks has been a tremendous amount of judgment and the shame around debt.
Talking about debt these days is a lot like talking about mental health was 10 or 15 years ago. Everybody either had a personal experience or knew somebody who was struggling or had struggled, and yet nobody was okay to talk about it.